my second career while I'm young. I mean, why not make a lot of money?
Yep.
Financial freedom, work for myself ultimately.
That's
I'm
it.
when I'm bored. That's my goal.
Okay, thank you, Mercedes. Now, the ice has been broken. Do y'all feel it? It's something about standing up and talking in front of people, psychological wise, right? It's something weird about that. But once you do it and get it over with, you feel extremely comfortable. That's a subconscious effect that I learned from my mentor, Bob Proctor. That's why I have y'all stand up and talk about y'all dreams and goals. And, you know, after class, you guys can get acquainted with each other and help each other out, because I'm big on networking and developing relationships, all right? All right, so another thing. University of Memphis told me that sometimes when I have my classes in here, I'm extremely loud. I'm passionate, y'all know that. I get to the veins out the top of my lungs. Luckily, I got a microphone today, so I'm gonna try to keep it quiet as much as I can. But I will, you know, Callie have to tell me, be quiet. Sometimes if I'm getting too loud, y'all be like, keep it a little quiet, Rico, because people are out here studying, okay? All right, but I'll be loud enough so y'all can hear me. So you gotta be my clicker man today, okay? Awesome. Now, to recap over some things about last week, did anybody remember some of the valuable things that we learned? Mercedes, I think Mercedes, Tammy, Nino. 11 laws. 11 laws. Do anybody remember some of the 11 laws?
The most important one.
Law thinking.
He ain't even been in class and he know about the law.
I just online, like I hardly have time. I work so much, but I do come on, you know, get up and online.
Man, I appreciate that, man. The law of compensation.
Thinking.
That's the most important one, all right?
Yes, one of them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking on.
The law of thinking, that's good, Tammy.
Law giving.
What do you all remember from one of the laws that was one of the most highlights that stuck with you?
Peabody.
Attraction is the single most powerful law. That's what you told me.
Yes, law of attraction. You remember some, Cassie? It's okay. That's why I have class. This is the reason I have class, because when you leave class, you forget about 60% of the information automatically. And so I have to go over that to review, to know, okay, let me see who's really getting this material and retaining it, because it's so important, y'all. I'm telling you, when we hit this battlefield and get out here from sitting in class and learning all this stuff, but when you put your money in your marketing campaign, you're going to need to know this stuff, because it gets real and crucial. And you do not want to be out here with limited amounts of knowledge, losing your money, not knowing why you losing your money. Am I making sense? Cool. Self-development is a key cornerstone concept that will propel you through any obstacle that you have, okay? Remember that. That's big. So today, what we're going to go over is some things in wholesaling. We're going to talk about real estate today. A little bit about self-development, but more on real estate, okay? All right, click that for me, Nino. Click the next one. Click it again for me. All right, last week, we learned about the power of how to form a desire and how to propel with your desire with persistence. We also learned about auto-suggestion, which is just another term for affirmations. Affirmations. Remember the affirmation that I talked about Saturday, y'all? That was big. Does anybody remember that affirmation?
Not verbatim, but I am happy and grateful that money comes to me in increasing quantities on a continuous basis.
Through multiple sources.
I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. Why am I doing that? Why? What's the purpose of that information?
To get it in your subconscious mind, to pull it and attract it.
Thank you. To get it in your subconscious mind, to reprogram your past conditioned thinking on money. Money is one of the most important things in life that you're gonna see as you live on, right? Our subconscious mind is our God-given gift. He gave us our subconscious mind to help us co-create our reality, okay? People have allowed this to lie dormant in their minds for years. They have not tapped into this infinite, powerful source, okay? This is not no hocus pocus. This is not no magic science stuff. This is a scientific proven fact as human beings. You know, the greats have utilized this. Michael Jordan, Bill Gates, they have utilized visualization techniques and affirmations to attract them what they want to desire in their physical. All right? Us as human beings, we have created a thinking of poverty in our minds. Past conditioning from the time we're born. You know, the people around you, they talk to you about sarcasticity and lack. Oh no, baby, you can't spend it. This ain't gonna, if you spend this, this is it. All those words went into your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind believed it, not knowing we are living in a state of abundance. Nothing lacks. God is always forever creating. Think about the galaxies in this solar system. We are a grain of salt in it. Think about that. This is major. So I'm big on it, and I'm intense on it, but it hurts me to know most people won't utilize that. I wake up in the morning, I gotta at least say my affirmations 100 times a day. That's natural for me. That's like an exercise for me. That's like going to the gym to do my conditioning for my body. Because if I'm saying it to myself 4 or 5 times, I'm really playing with myself. I really don't believe it. If I wake up and forget about it going about my normal day, it ain't even in my awareness. Why did I purchase a program if I'm not finna put my all in it, 100%, to see if this stuff really works for me in my life? So when you're really, getting into that process of saying your affirmations, close your eyes and believe it. Put that vibrational Tory effect in your body and say it to yourself more than 100 times. Why? Because you're gonna start to believe it with the power of repetition, right? It's the power of repetition that allows us to believe something, constantly doing something over and over and over again. How do we know our multiplication by heart?
Write them down multiple times.
Over and over and over again.
I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. How? Because when we got to school, we learned it. They tutored it in school. When we went home, our mamas drilled it in us. And if we got it wrong, they got a whooping, a spanking. I'm being honest. They whooped me to learn my multiplications by consistently doing it over and over again until I get it. And so it was like secondhand nature, right? It's the same way with wholesaling. You can do that. How many deals do you want to do? How many buyers do you want to develop? What do your goals really look like? Do you look at them every day? Folks be like, man, I want to make some money. What's your number? Like I was saying last week. What's your number? What's your freedom number? Well, I want 545,000. You know your number. Do you look at it every day? Do you look at the plan to create it? Do you say it to yourself at least 100 times a day? Who is around you that's going to help you do this? If nobody is around you that's going to help you do this, get away from them. Because their energies will propel you to theirs. I'm telling you some stuff that's real. I wish I can yell it, but I can't. Am I making sense, y'all? Just like I say, y'all know my saying, if 5 of your closest friends broke, busted, and disgusted, you're going to be the 6th one. Right? So the best thing to do is to align yourself with people who's going to support you and help you do this, because that's the hard part. All right. And we talked about the subconscious mind. And I kind of just went into detail into that too. So you can click it again, Nino. All right, wholesale development, wholesale resources. Does anybody remember when I wrote on the board about what you're paying for? Raise your hand. Mercedes got the notes. Yeah, this is key. I'm finna go over this stuff. I want y'all to remember this stuff and think about this every single day, because this is revolutionary. No one is doing this. This is big. The reason why I created this course was because I was 18, 17, and 19 years old, taking my job checks, wasn't telling my parents or my grandmothers, I'm finna pay for this overpriced seminar. I would go to the Peabody hotels, these Hilton hotels. It looks good. You see these people with these suitcases, you thinking you about to really learn some stuff. I'm spending $3,000, $2,500 on this stuff, never getting no true accountability, right? I'm in the back of this place feeling good. They give me this, it looks like this. As I show people, you get this little good looking little bag, right? You get some calculators, some booklets in it. And they really literally pat you on your back. They say, look, you're gonna do good. If you need help, call that hotline. We got assistance ready for you. That's not true accountability. Because when I got that seller on my phone and I had a script in front of me from putting my money in my marketing after I paid for the coaching, I couldn't call that Hollywood coach that was doing that hooping and hollering in that hotel. I needed him on the phone to negotiate for me. I just paid y'all $3,000. Why you can't do that? So I told myself, I said, once I got some success in real estate, I'm gonna show true accountability. I'm gonna show people, if you give them resources, what that looks like. So that's why when you scroll on my Instagram, you see people with checks. That's why you see plenty of testimonies, because that's big to me. That's what I take pride in, my testimonies. Because I know if I really can show a person coming from nothing to something, what's that's gonna do for my program and my company?
Credibility.
They gonna say, hey man, you need to go see Rico. just being honest. And so that's why I'm doing this, and that's why MadPaper coaching is growing the way it's growing. It's taking a hell of a lot of hard work out of me. I'm gonna tell you that. The people business, dealing with people, period, is hard work. You know, I barely get time to do things for entertainment. I got time to have fun last night though. I went out, we had about, hopefully we can tonight too, but it's hard because I want to ensure that everything that I tell y'all hold on to it and apply it. All right? All right. Oh wait, before we go back. Mercedes, what are we paying for?
Access to buyers, live negotiation, walk through the marketing campaign, setting up the direct mail,
Yep.
contracts, networking, and the online education.
Y'all hear that? That's your resource right now. That's powerful. That's a feeling to have, to always be excited. That's what I was looking for that I didn't get. Am I making sense? Access to my buyers, access to my contracts, access to me to talk to your sellers when they call your phone so you can really learn negotiation. How transparent can we get? You don't even have the knowledge to know how to set up your marketing. I'm going to set up your marketing for you on the phone and introduce you to the people that own the company. So you could develop a relationship with them for your future when you do grow from beyond me, right? We just did it, right, Chelsea? Set it up. She got her campaign rolling. We about to get in the game. So it's gonna get serious. I want y'all to know y'all have access to these resources. A lot of people leave class, they're like, man, Rico, I gotta find buyers. How am I gonna use? And I just told them they got everything. That creates a lot of pressure off of you. All you gotta do is study, and when you get done, call me so we can go. What lesson you on, T?
I'm on lesson 3.
Lesson 3. Okay, we got a minute to go, but hey, you on it.
Right.
Everything is making sense.
It is. It's just verifying, I guess, what I have already lived. I just didn't know it was a law. I didn't know it was a definition. I didn't know that. I thought I was just a special guy.
Yeah.
But this is all part of the universe.
Man, I appreciate that. Tammy, I know you've been working hard. You still on lesson 3? Everything making sense.
The only thing I didn't get out of work today, this week, so I hadn't had a chance to go online and watch it, but I'm gonna look at it tonight because I'm out.
Gotcha. Okay. Mercedes, Cam, I know y'all watching them. Y'all on 3? Everybody on 3, that's good. Where you at, Chelsea?
You know, I went through all of them.
Oh, you did the whole thing. You done.
Yeah, but you know, I had went back through it a second time too.
You go over it. When you went over it a second time, did you see stuff that you kind of forgot?
Absolutely. And stuff I'll be like, did I?
Now imagine this. What if I just had y'all access to everything? What if I gave y'all access to everyone and just overwhelmed y'all? You see why I structured the lesson plan that way? You complete one lesson 1 week, but I'm not gonna give you access to those other lessons until you dive in and retain that lesson that week. You can go back over it, but it's gonna help y'all retain the info, okay? All right, come on, let's go. Click it, Nino. Click it again. They said they want this light. That's kind of bright for me. Can everybody see that? I know that's small. Now we're going to go into the definition a little bit of what wholesaling actually is today. All right? By a show of hands. What's wholesaling? What's wholesaling, Cassie?
Wholesaling essentially is flipping paper.
Flipping paper. Wow, that's a good definition. How am I flipping paper?
What you're doing is you're basically the middleman between a seller and a buyer, and whatever the difference is, that's your piece of it.
That's true. Now, can I make $5,000 doing this?
Yes.
Can I make $10,000 doing this?
Of course you can.
Wow, there really isn't a gap on the amount of profit, right?
No.
tell you guys right now, me and my partners, we're working on an apartment deal. And I never knew that you can actually wholesale an actual apartment building. And yes, commercial real estate. And this is a very big deal because you have distressed owners that's going through stuff. You typically don't think that you can find an apartment on the MLS, right? So you have to do off-market marketing, which is direct mail. I did my direct mail marketing, wasn't even looking for an apartment. He owned residential houses. Just so happened he had to have a 40 unit. And that's what we're working on closing right now. Now think about a 3% commission off a building that's listed for $1.1 million. It's big. If me and my partners get the deal and we split it, I get to take home $100,000. That's one of my biggest wholesale deals I ever done. And what I want to do, I want to, not only, y'all know I'm big on transparency. I don't want to only talk about it, but I want to get my partners and with Jack and document this process and really motivate y'all and show y'all that, hey, I can't just only wholesale a house, I can wholesale an apartment building. You can retire yourself from one wholesale deal, y'all. Now, I've been in this deal 4 months, but it may take 6, but it's gonna be worth that work. Does that make sense? So, it took me 8 years to get to this point. It took me 4 years to learn that it ain't all about the money. And I was 24 when I learned it, because I almost lost everything from being in it. I thought money was the main important aim. Focus on money. Man, I just gotta get some money. Forget everything else. I'm telling y'all, that will blind you as a destructive mind frame to have. Be big on relationships and be intentional and be genuine and be real with people. Don't lie, don't cut no corners, because it's gonna cut yourself short in the end. And people gonna see who you are. It only take about 90 days to reveal a real person. That's what I seen while working with people. And I'm in the people business, okay? Keep your heart pure and you gonna be all right. Does that make sense? All right, come on. Wholesaling is a special subcategory of house flipping in which, you can click it. You identify a seller in a property situation that is somewhat unusual and problematic. That creates a motivated seller. That's what we focus on, y'all. That's what we're gonna focus on the whole time when we get in the game. Today is gonna be key for y'all to take notes, I'm telling you. Because remember, I'm gonna say this over and over again. We are not targeting the MLS. We're not targeting real estate agents that has properties selling for retail. We need off-market properties, and we're targeting people that's going through motivated situations in life. First thing being absentee owners. Absentee owners. Has anybody ever heard what an absentee owner is? Cassia?
Absentee owner is a person that owns a piece of property in one place, but they actually live somewhere else.
That's the hottest list that you can market to. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Because if they're in a vacant house, this is a bad marker. You got a person, let's see, okay. You got a person who lives in a vacant house, right? Who don't live in a vacant house, I'm sorry. If they live in California and their vacant house is in Memphis, right? They just had tenants that moved out of that property and they're not getting any rent from their property. Is that a motivated situation? Mm-hmm. That person has to travel thousands of miles back and forth to check on their house and spend money on travel expenses, and that's a headache. Not only including if their absentee owner is an elderly individual over the age of 50, all right? That's who we target to. Majority of the wholesalers, the competition out here, they want that because they know that the major local buyers never see those houses. The only houses the major buyers see is what's listed online. Am I making sense? These are highly competitive buyers that live, eat, sleep, and breathe houses like crack cocaine. Literally, they have to meet quotas. So, sometimes they have to buy 20 houses a month. So they waiting on something to come through. So if you bring them something that they have not seen, that's off market, that the competition they haven't even touched, they gonna jump all on it. Am I making sense? And if we get the house, let's say the ARV is 150K. After getting it from our direct mail campaign, negotiating with him, talking to the guy, seeing that the guy's 75 and his tenants just moved out, his wife just died. At the same time, he's looking for an offer. man, just what can you give me cash? I'm not looking for the real estate agent to list it. That's what they're gonna say when we have these phone calls. You know, I'm just looking to get rid of it, man. Well, sir, I'm an all-cash real estate investor. We typically always offer, and we come in at a 40 to 50% discount off the ARV. Can somebody tell me what's the ARV? After repair value. That means that's what we're gonna always come in with our offer. If it's worth 150, what that means I'm gonna offer half of this, right? So what's that? It's about 75,000. 75,000, you can give me that all cash, as is? Yes, sir, we can do that. We don't do bank financing, remember that. We don't do bank financing. The buyers that we work with got cash, so they can liquidate these homes in 7 to 14 days. So if we offer him 75 and he takes it, that's what? A phenomenal deal. Y'all see why, right? How much equity did I just bought in this house? I got $75,000 worth of equity in it instantly. Am I making sense? Let me know if I ain't making sense, you know. So with that,
How you know the after repair value of the house?
that's a good question.
Is it still assets?
And this is, I'm gonna answer that question based off you guys' perspective, off a beginning wholesaler. You got a question?
What do you say? I didn't hear.
Oh, say the question again.
Makes him like, how do we find out the after repair value of the house?
How do you find out that? Now, if you just got in the game, you don't have access to the MLS, you got access to the Zillow, but Zillow never gives you the real ARV. Remember that. You get a zestimate. You know, you get the accessors too, but from learning with these buyers, that's really not the actual ARV. So how can a person that's just getting in the game, limited amount of resources, know what an actual ARV is off a house?
Gotta use comps. Comps not in there.
Let me see. Hey, let me see if people thinking in the right direction. You say comps. What you think?
I remember class before last, you said let the buyer look around and you used to go around and know.
Man, that's cold. That's cold. I ain't even think anybody was gonna get that. You own it. That's what you do. If you know that you have a buyer that has over 20 million in funding in his account that's accredited because you've seen the POF statement, he's been buying for 15 years. You know that. And he specializes in buying in this zip code for the past 10. He's an expert. He has resources and stuff that you do not have access to. But if you do something very powerful, which is a phenomenon, and build a relationship with him, his resources are now yours. You feel me, man? I'm just being honest. His resources now yours. Now you leverage his resources by being genuine and building a real relationship. So now one day you say, hey man, is it okay if I come to your office and look at a couple of properties and give you the addresses and you pull them up on your MLS? He has access to it. He got access to the MLS. You don't. He can pull up the history of a house 5 years or see who bought it 10 years ago and say, hey man, this is the real ARV. You might not get this from the outside world, but this is some inside information. This is how my company is able to advance because I immediately know. Do you get where I'm going? This bypasses the ordinary average person, especially the competition. They want to sit at home from their laptops and send out emails and make phone calls, but never want to get out and say, hey man, I'm hungry. My mama need me. My family needs me. I want to be the best wholesaler you ever ran across. He gonna be like, what the, damn. This dude different. He just don't want money. He want to really change his life and he want generational. It's how you move. Millionaires know what's going on. They can spot bullshit in 5 seconds. You can't come up there bullshitting them, talking about you want to be a successful wholesaler. They gonna see your body movements. They gonna see how you smell, what you wearing. Sometimes they want to see your lingo and what you know, and how you talking. That's why it's so important on developing relationships. I'm gonna keep saying it throughout the time we be together for years if it's such. Sometimes it might not make sense to next year from you being with me. You like, man, Rico, you were really right. It's the door to everything, right? It's the door to everything. Knowledge, access, money, relationship. Just build it and everything else gonna follow. People were telling me that years ago when I was 13. I didn't get it. Rico, you moving too fast, man. You trying to get rich too quick. Follow the money. Build the knowledge, build relationships, and the money will follow. I wish I took that a little earlier. But I'm gonna be big on trying to get y'all to see it. But that's how you get everything. You build a relationship with the buyer, and he gonna tell you everything. He gonna walk you through it. That's how they do me right now, and that's how I give, you know, the resources unto y'all and make it so easy that way. Does that make sense? Cool. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna target motivated sellers. We're gonna be able to get these houses at a 50% discount because they already gonna be in a motivated situation. When you're getting a house at $75K, you can be able to wholesale it to your buyer for, it's enough equity. He bought the house instantly for half off and got over $75,000 in equity. He can pay you $10K for the house. It's no problem. At the same time, he looked at it and saw that the repair wouldn't be no more than $7,500 in renovations, not over 15. Keep that rule in your head, y'all. You don't want to go over 15. That's a massive major renovation. So buyers are going to kind of be hesitant first on giving you a nice offer. It's all about the repair. How bad is the house? What shape is the house in? Does that make sense? I'm telling you, you build a relationship, it's going to be a phenomenal thing. So you can make $10,000 on that wholesale deal. If you're looking for retail deals and you learn that the margins are kind of small, you're not going to make big spreads. You're going to make like 1,000 to 1,500 sometimes, which is okay because those are called base hits. To be a base hit winner, you're going to have to at least have a team or work 10 times as harder, okay? That means that you got to do at least 15 deals that month to make a nice monthly income, which is possible. But you, in 30 days, how many times can you want to make 10? As many times as you can. You want to really focus in on those nicer spreads. Why do you want to focus on nicer spreads, Rico? Well, shit, 52 weeks. If you saving your money like you're supposed to and treating this like a college tutorial educational thing, when you save at least 250, let's say you got 250,000 saved up. You got it saved up. You took your time, you know, you sacrificed. You didn't spend it lavishly on anything. You waited. You have $250 from your wholesaling in Evidors. Now it's time to do what? Invest. Buy houses now with the money that you save. That's like graduating and going to the next level. You don't want to be at wholesaling for the rest of your life, y'all. Rico gonna be the first to tell you, wholesaling does not generate wealth. There's a difference between being rich and wealthy. Y'all know that. Wholesaling is gonna help you generate that cash, reserves, currency. See, our culture is black people. Bless us. No, you good, man.
What you just said, like, save up and buy later, you know, like, it makes sense. Like, you gotta make the money and take it and do something.
And do something with it, man.
Yeah,
You got to.
Say you was finna start about what we, you know, do when we get, you know, the money with it.
Right. That's right.
And then also to add to what you're saying, basically because we're on the front line doing the front work, when we get to a place where we can buy houses, now we understand and we can estimate what we need and we can know what we need to do so that when we buy houses, we can buy smarter.
That's so true. Man, that's
We
true.
can leverage our knowledge that we've learned.
Man. Yep, because you got like the foundational education there.
Exactly.
But yeah, I was saying us as a culture, we get 250,000, we think we rich. We think this is wealth. Seriously. We finna buy all the Gucci, Louis, and we finna buy the nicest cars and houses.
It's instinctual that you want to do those things when you have that type of money, but you got to
Right.
outside the box. Like, you made
Man.
some money, now you got to make some more with what you already got, you know.
Yep.
It's okay to treat yourself to things, but you
Right.
gotta, it's a way to do it.
Right, it's a way to do it.
But isn't that where your why comes in? Because
Right.
If you're focusing on your why, that'll make you, it'll instill that discipline in you to say, you know what, this is bigger than me.
Yeah, this is bigger than me. I need to push through.
Right.
You don't know how you're going to take it in.
No, you're right, but no, that's
Yep.
where the self-development comes in. I think that's the reason why Rico's so big on the self-development.
I am. Yep, that's so true. See, you got 250. Now this is the key thing to help you get to the $1 million. Because we're always talking about growing up, man, I'm gonna be a millionaire, I wanna be a millionaire. Do you really know what it takes to be just to get the 1 million. They say always that 1 million is the hardest. I'm telling you, if you really want to be a millionaire, you're going to have to go home and really sit down and plan this thing out and get focused on it and put all your might and effort into it, right? Because it's hard to get to that 250K. But I'm telling you right now, when you start doing deals that's landing you $5,000, $6,000, $12,000. Me and Cal, she got her deal. Y'all know, we put it on the internet. She's banking $12,000, y'all. From just absorbing the information and going out there and getting that deal. That's big. This year is gonna be the biggest year for us as a couple together. She's going to real estate school. She's getting her license. It's phenomenal, but it only happened because of what? Consistent action, delayed gratification. I'm not perfect. Let me tell you something. Rico not perfect. Don't look at me like I done made mistakes. I almost lost it all. You are gonna make mistakes, but you just gotta stay on course. And I'm gonna be here to help you stay on course, because I'm super aggressive. If I don't hear from you in 2 or 3 weeks, I'm gonna be calling your phone looking for you. You paid me for the coaching, y'all. Right? Somebody gotta have some accountability factor somewhere. You paid me for the coaching, right? Okay, cool. All right, go to the next one. We all know what a motivated seller is and what we want to pinpoint. Now, we're going to construct a solution for that seller that involves the negotiated sale of their property to you at a discount or somewhat favorable financial terms due to the seller's recognition of the value in your solution. Now, what that's basically saying is we're going to come up with a quick solution. Us as wholesalers, we're the middlemen, or sorry, I say middle women because there's women in it too. I don't say middlemen all the time, but we're that middle mid-person contact that can create a powerful solution. We do not have to have a license for this. All right, one of the biggest misconceptions. And a lot of older people are going to be concerned about what you're doing. A lot of them are. You're going to tell them, hey, what you doing? Oh, I'm learning this thing. It's called wholesaling. I'm finna get some houses. Okay, baby, you got your license? I'm like, huh? What you mean license, auntie? I don't got to have my license. Boy, you know you dealing with real estate. You got to have your license. You better go and get your license with them get rich quick programs. You might hear that. But if you do your study, you will see wholesaling has been around for centuries. You as an American citizen have the American right to control a piece of property with a purchase contract. That purchase contract says and or assigns, but you cannot do the deal without the closing attorney, your title company. You can't go home and close a house with some contracts. It's physically impossible. You have to have an alignmentship with the closing attorney in which that is open out to you guys. You have access to that. Remember that when y'all get out here spending your money in your campaign, everything is laid out for you. You just have to be consistent. You got the buyer, you got your contracts, and you got the place to go close your deal. Right? All right, let's go next. You put the property under contract or purchase it outright with the intention of a quick resale to another investor at wholesale prices. We all understand that. Go again, Okay. Very often, your solution rests on your ability to create and nurture an ongoing relationship with a special database of buyers. This is what I always say, who are undeterred by the common hindrances to buying the properties in question. That's how you become a powerful wholesaler. I've been in this 8 years, y'all. That means that with all the buyers I have right now, and to count it is at least 68 right now. That's not just Memphis. When I get one property, I blast that property out to this whole base of people. Think about that. Now, that 68 base have some of the similar criteria because they're all in Memphis. Some of them want the same 50 to 40% discounts, but some can pay more as retail buyers. I need a good marker, man. Let me see. This is bad. This is bad. Got some more in here. Appreciate it, man. Hey, oh yeah. Is this permanent? Okay. That was too good. That was so good. That was too good. All right, so 68. Now, this base is dealing with you got the local buyers, which is kind of that foundational step first, is what took me so long to develop relationships with. Some of these people took a year or two because I was relentless. I was different. I had a lot of stuff built up in me as a young child, only child. But, you know, I've seen some stuff I wasn't supposed to see growing up. You know, like I said, my mom was in the streets, father in the penitentiary. I seen some stuff that kind of propelled me to want to get out of it and make sure my mama never had to deal with it again, and make sure my father never had to deal with it, because it was a lot of pain during that time. So the way I moved and hustled to develop relationships was crazy. I'm telling you this. I would literally figure out how to negotiate. I would read books on it, go over them books. Watch tapes of successful speakers. I would watch those tapes over and over again. Les Brown, Bob Proctor, Wayne Dyer, Robert Kiyosaki, Dale Carnegie, Napoleon Hill. I would watch these people until I can mimic and act like that I was them. Does that make sense? I would do this over and over again like somebody was in the gym shooting basketball trying to become Michael Jordan. I wanted to be the best wholesaler. And that's what I did. I'm talking about I got books from people. I went to the greats. Whoever was a successful wholesaler at that time, I found them, and I was trying to get with them to learn what to say to the buyers when I went. I went to go get new suits. Never even really learned how to wear them properly. I had to learn through the hard way how to wear suits. You know, I was wearing them wrong, cufflinks wrong. I didn't know what I was doing, but I found out because I kept trying. Then I found out what these local buyers' offices was. From my self-development study, it said you must be intentional and aggressive more than the competition to win. What the competition gonna do at home is they're gonna send out emails and try to call these people. Not me. I'm gonna research you, I'm gonna call you, then I'm gonna come find you, and I'm gonna pull up. My life on the line. I wanna win. My mama and daddy need me. If I don't do this, they suffer, right? So what I look like not doing nothing? Or going down the same road they went, which was easy because it was accessible. Everybody around me wanted me to do that, right? Am I making sense? I got my suits, I got my speech game together. Sometimes I didn't even know what I was gonna say because I would forget my speech. And so by the time I got there, I would have to rely on anything that I had to remember in my mind. But they saw my enthusiasm. So my first buyer that I knew I could go find, I found the office address, psyched myself up, you know, pulled up to the office and said, this is my first time I'm finna go in here and try to develop relationships. And I did it so good. And they all opened, they opened me with welcome arms. Does that make sense? So when I came in, I was relentless. I said, hey, how you doing, ma'am? My name is Rico Smith. I'm in here. I want to be a successful wholesaler. And I came to the office. I want to set up an appointment with the chief acquisition manager of the buyer in the office. Is he here today? Sometimes he ain't going to be there. Oh, he's not here today, but we can put down a scheduled appointment for you, sir. He can come back. Okay, what day is good for you guys? Well, you can come in and try tomorrow. I'm here. Cool. I'm back the next day. Hey, it's Rico. How you doing? Is the buyer in? Well, you know what? I know we said today, but Rico, he's still out. He hasn't made it yet. Where is he? Is he looking at houses? Or is he somewhere in the field where I can maybe go find him? I'm not stopping. Do you see where I'm going? Don't nobody move like this. They want to get out here, do a little something, and then go home in their comfortable world. This is a battlefield. You got to really think about what you're getting yourself into, y'all. You're going to make your own self frustrated. You're going to be at home kicking the trash can because you ain't getting no success. But you really not working like you supposed to. I'm telling you. Is it making sense? I'm going to go find him. Yeah, he's looking at houses. Okay, where's the addresses and the lists? Maybe I can catch him at one of the houses. This is what I went through. I'm driving 4 or 5 houses missing him because he constantly expecting another house. So by the time I can catch up with him, he like, who the hell is this? You know, I pull up quick. That's how I'm going to build relationships with that buyer. That buyer's gonna know me and know Rico Smith. That's how I move. You have to move the same way. Like your life depending on it, like your life in 2 days. How you gonna move? Like you in a burning room and everything is on fire. How are you gonna move? You gonna be sitting there looking crazy? Or you gonna be trying to figure out how you can get on defense and how you can score. Am I making sense? Hey man, I'm sweating. Hey man, I've been looking all over for you. My name is Rico Smith. I want to be a successful wholesaler. I know that you're one of the top buyers in Memphis, Tennessee, and I want to get a sharper sense of criteria. Where are you guys buying at? I see you buying in the University of Memphis area right now. It's a pretty good area. I'm writing his zip code down. I know where he at. He looking at houses in the area. Obviously, he buying this area. I'm getting that zip code down. Yeah, man, how did you find me? You could have came to my office. I came to the office yesterday. You weren't there. I came today, you weren't there. They said you was out here, so I had to come and try my best to find you, man. I wanna develop a relationship with you. Whenever you get some free time, I wanna sit down with you and I wanna let you know I've been studying self-development. I'm prepared to come out here in this world, but I know that I'm not gonna be successful without relationships. That throws them off. It throws them off. Am I making sense? You ain't coming to them like the average Joe with a hand out. I need a favor, I need something. No, I will come work for you for free. I just need your knowledge. I need to know what's going on. How many houses you buy a month? What type of houses you buy a month? You like 3 bedroom, 2 baths? What you want? How much cash do you have to spend? You ask them that. We got 500,000, we got $1 million. Somebody might only have 50. You want all them buyers. Am I making sense? You're asking them that because you're going to leverage your knowledge off the resources from them. This is your army of elite people that can change your life like they did mine. Am I making sense? So that's what we're gonna do. We go into these buyers, we building relationships with them, we go into their offices, and that's on that. But it gets even realer and it gets even deeper and harder. Because once you have aligned yourself with these local buyers, that's not the only base. You can't cap yourself out with buyers just in Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee is the #2 city in the world to buy rentals. Does that make sense? Statistics. So that means that somebody from New Zealand, Australia, Hong Kong want to put their money in Memphis, Tennessee. Why in every hood somebody own a store that's not of our ethnic race? Does that make sense? It's good soil here. Top American money. Think about that. So now, once I learned that it got deep, I said, man, I got to go out here and for real get comfortable. I'm turning 2021. Working my butt off at TGI Fridays, busting tables, getting checks, still studying the game, still building relationships, but I still wanted that real money. I knew that I had to go find, during 2008, hedge funds, private equity firms. Do we know any of these? You gotta study this at home, because I got this in my bonus. When you get to that bonus footage in your online, did you see it? When you get to that bonus footage, I talk heavily about hedge funds and private equity firms, because the hedge funds and private equity, these guys are the elite buyers. You talking about millions here, but now we're talking about billions. Does that make sense? Now we're talking about REITs and institutional funding and Wall Street money. Well, Rico, how hedge funds buy houses? I don't understand it. You got to think about it. Real estate is a big business, right? Everybody want to partake in the wealth creation of real estate. Memphis is the only city where you can come in the hood, buy a house for $10,000 and the ARV is at 60. And it's a full 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Look at the return on your money. You can't get that if you sit your $10,000 in the bank. You can sit your $10,000 in the house and collect $750 a month in rent. How much did your $10,000 made that first 12 months? Do the calculations. That's phenomenal. You put your $10,000 in the bank and let it accrue interest. What is it gonna get? Maybe 2 or 3%. Maybe, if you get lucky. It's gonna be the same 10,000 that following year. The next year gonna be still 10,000 in there. But do you see why? What hedge funds have collectively done is gathered their houses together, and they're taking the mortgage-backed securities and they're selling them off on Wall Street. That's their plan. I know that's kind of like, what do you say? You know, and you guys can study this on your own free time, but you will see why one of the world's richest men, Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, invests in real estate. Now they almost at a 75% stake in real estate. They almost, half of their companies, they're flooding money in real estate. So I knew I had to get out of my comfort zone and leave Memphis. How many of us gonna do that? To be successful in our business, do we wanna make some thousands or we wanna make millions? I knew people were gonna reject me as I got rejected, as I did. It's times when I got so many no's, I said, man, this can't, what am I gonna do? This was the most hardest thing for me to ever accomplish. You talking about taking your $500 check, getting you a good one-way ticket to New York City to go try to build relationships with hedge funds and you don't even know what to say. I had security turning me around before I even walked through the offices buildings. They're like, what are you doing here, sir? Well, I'm just a kid from Memphis. I'm trying to find some buyers, man. Sir, this is not the proper protocol here. You're gonna have to go. I'm like, wow, it's a whole other world. I'm looking up at buildings. I'm constantly looking. I'm like, that building's still going up in the air. I'm finna have to go in the elevator and try to talk to some buyers here. It was another level for me. But guess what happened to me was my educational period. You can't just walk into an office without sometimes getting into a secretary or a person in contact to set up the appointment first before you even walk in the building. Before you even spend your money on a plane ticket, Rico, come on, scratch your head, man. Common sense. But I was eager and anxious to go out there and do it, and I didn't wait for somebody to tell me to go. I just went because I was hungry. It was my sacrifice. You think, I'm looking at people every day, they be like, man, how you be flipping all these houses? How you do all that? I'm like, man, you just have no clue. I done slept in the backseat of my car over this. I done changed my clothes in gas stations over this. You know what I'm saying? I done went to the lowest of the low. That's why things are finally kicking off. I done really paid my dues, y'all. Y'all gonna have to do the same thing. I'm gonna give y'all resources. I'm gonna give you that platform to make money. But to sustain yourself, you're gonna have to dig deep, right? You talking about flying to New York, Chicago, me to finally flying to California and finally building a relationship with Land Smith, one of the biggest hedge fund companies that was buying at that time. I did that. And leading up to them buying a bulk property package for me from an investor here, Greg Griffin, I made $20,000 on one of my first big fees. Am I making sense? Because I went to go find them. No local buyer was gonna do that for me. Because their money wasn't long enough. They could spend $1 million in 7 days. They gonna have to wait 30, 45 days, maybe 60. They got the $1 million sitting there. Am I making sense? So the hedge funds and private equity firm buyers are gonna be strong. Main Street Renewal gonna be some of the companies that you see we use. They just bought a home for Raven, my student, in Cordova. FAR, 1602 FAR, you know. But I wait to introduce you to those level of buyers because I want you to know everything you need to know when you're talking to them and dealing with them guys because they sharp. And my name on the line, my reputation on the line. I got so nice at one time when I first had my level of classes, I was just giving them my buyers. But I got calls from my buyers and they were like, look, man, you can't just have your students, you know, call us if they're not prepared. We're not just willing to do that. Am I making sense? So I want y'all to know what y'all doing. Cause my name on the line. Okay, y'all understand it. So you got local buyers, you got hedge fund and private equity, and you got what? What else? Who else could be? What else could be a third level of like, wow? I just kind of mentioned it not too long ago. Who got their passport? Who seen? Okay. Who seen American Gangster? The movie.
Yeah.
What Frank do?
He wouldn't develop their relationship over there.
Where he go? He went to the what? The source.
The source.
You saw American Gangster?
I just can't remember it vividly like that. I just seen it.
Frank was like, man, I gotta stop going to the local. I gotta go to the source. And I'm using this analogy to help this make, I know, to help it make sense. He had to go to the source. This man went to Vietnam to go get that product at a very, very low cost, right? It's the greatest thing that you can do, but it was something that was very kind of scary to people around him. He was like, man, you finna go to Vietnam? I'm like, yeah, I'm finna go to Vietnam and get this. Cause where? Cause what? In his body and mind said he was there. Most people ain't there yet. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. Most people ain't there. Most people are good at getting you to think they're there. They're very good at that. If you notice, people are good at conniving and talking and they convincing. They good, but as I just told you, it take 90 days to see a person. Real actions. I'm telling you, once you're locked in and there, it's just a matter of time for what to happen for you. For me, it's the same thing. You get your passport and you go out there and find them. How uncomfortable can you get? Am I making sense? These are the things that you have to do. And these are the things that has allowed me to build up a large network of 68 buyers that's strong, that all of you have opportunity to utilize and use. Most of you are gonna meet the local buyers. You're gonna meet them because they're gonna come. They're gonna come to classes like Mark, like Kirk Davis, and Tyler and Tom, everybody, Chris, Ulander, Mishap home buyers. But the people that's out of town that you guys use, how many of y'all gonna get y'all flight tickets and go to their office?
After we close and we eat local deals.
You something else. Just after you get some money, you out of here, right? That's a good plan, man. That's a real good plan. All right. What time is it, somebody? Y'all got time? 2:17. All right, cool. We got to 3. All right, click on it, Nino. Go to the next one. All right, now, with this leverage as their positioning, great wholesalers are able to educate sellers in a no BS way during the negotiation process and craft a deal that works for all 3 parties. I'm gonna say this last one again. With this leverage as their positioning, great wholesalers are able to educate sellers in a no bullshit way. I'm gonna stop right there. When you're telling these sellers you can close on a house in 7 to 14 days, that's big. You can't just say that like you're just saying it. People do that. They just say it and they can't back that. The things that you're telling these sellers in these desperate situations are serious and real, and we can back it. And that's what we take pride and integrity on. We don't bullshit these people, okay? Now, I'm always transparent about my mistakes so y'all can learn from them. I made a mistake doing it because I was eager in my beginning stages. Didn't have some good relationships yet. Just wanted to get some stuff done, bad. And I told the seller, we can close in your house in 7 to 14 days. And this is why I'm gonna show you reason being that you wanna develop a relationship with buyers first before you go out here doing this. I can close in your I got the lady from a bandit sign. She called me, she needed me, she was ready to move. Daughter moved out and she was ready to downsize. She wanted her a condo or something, right? So I told her later, I said, look, I can close on your, it's just one of my first few phone calls. I'm thinking I can reel it in and do something with it. Check out this mistake, learn from it. I can close on your house. I'm blankly lying, for one. Y'all see that? That's finna dig you in the wrong hole. You don't have a buyer yet, Rico. Why you tell that person you can close on the house in 7 to 14 days? So I assured her I could. Then I did this. I said, I'm also put on the contract that we're gonna put $500 earnest money down, to ensure that we're gonna buy. In my mind, I'm thinking, all right, I got 30 days. I can go find a buyer. He can put up the earnest money. I can do it. It's a good house, right? I don't have a buyer yet. This is the mistake majority of the wholesalers make. They go out there and try to do this first. So I try everything to go find some buyers. I do it all. I do my trying to go into these offices and get people to align with me. Wasn't working too good. High rejection month. High no's, low success, and them days was counting on down because we both signed that contract. And I took that contract to Saddle Creek Title, my first title company that I was using as a wholesaler. Took it to Kay Willer, one of the oldest closing agents there. She'd been closing for 30 years. She said, Rico, how you doing? Nice to meet you. She said, this your first deal? I said, yeah. I'm ready to get it. I just got to find a buyer. She said, you mean to tell me you told this seller that you can close on the house for 7 to 14 days. And I see here you got earnest money. Are you going to give me the earnest money? You know it's held here, right? I said, no, I got to get the buyer to hold it. I ain't got it. Rico, you're walking some very some very fine line waters here. I'm like, what do you mean? I can do it. She said, Rico, you need to do anything possible that you can to find a buyer for this house, because if you don't, and the day comes where we have to disperse the funds to close on this house and the seller is at their closing table, you're going to be in a lot of trouble if you don't have that. And how are you going to forfeit some earnest money that you don't have? You're basically lying. This is false documents. Rico, you can get arrested for this. I'm like, man, you know, I'm hard beating, I'm sweating, you know, you start feeling hot. You start feeling that hot feeling, you get in some real, you hot, you sweat. I messed up. I made sure that day was the last day I ever went through that. Ever. I called that lady back, and that was the most hardest thing I ever had to do. But I did it. And that's integrity. I told that lady the truth. I called that lady back. I said, look, ma'am, I'm so sorry about this. I know we only have about 6 more days, but I don't have a buyer for your house. I lied. You know, I was very eager to do my deal. I'm a beginning wholesaler. Before I could even get out, that lady was cussing me out. Mother, you love mother. I knew something wrong. You I let her get that out because I deserved it. That was my fault. Seriously. So I had to do that. That takes a man to do that. You have to go ahead and correct yourself. Integrity. I'm gonna tell you something my mentor told me. He said it take 15 years to build up a solid reputation, but only 15 minutes to ruin it and knock it down. So after she got through cussing, I said, ma'am, yes ma'am, I know, I'm sorry. I kept saying sorry. She said, don't do that no more. I don't do that to people. You tell people you gonna do something, you do it. Now you done pissed me off, but I'm gonna tell you some good advice, but she gave me some good advice. Cause she knew I was young, right? But that lady, I'll never forget, she put me in the right direction from that day forward. And everything from moving in my documents to me having meetings, I'm truthful. I don't care if it hurts you. I don't care if you get mad at me. I'm gonna tell the truth, all right? And that's what I hope y'all do, and we have to do as we go on in this business, because it's gonna save us. Our reputation is everything in wholesaling, okay? All right. Now, you got the pros and cons of wholesaling. I'm gonna talk about that, the pros and cons. Now, the pros, of course, in wholesaling, you're gonna make some good money. Highly addictive business once you get rolling. It's highly addictive. It's so addictive that it gets to the point when you get investors to start saving cash reserves, they mess up their funds. They get to 200, they get to 300,000, and they get overly excited. It's a level of finances that a person has never dealt with before. So when you look up and you see what you have saved, you're finna do some stuff you've never done. Money magnifies who you really are, okay? Money magnifies the person that you truly are at the core root level. So watch that. You know, you're gonna want that Bentley, you want that house, you want that jewelry. Wait a minute for a little, just wait a little minute. People mess it off, they spin it all over, and they have to start all over again. It's that addictive. It's that addictive. Meaning that you knew you had the money to escape the wholesaling level, but now you have failed that level and now you gotta start all over again. But you still haven't changed who you was at the root level. So when you get back to that 300, 400,000, are you gonna do the same thing again? It's deep. That's why I need real estate courses. I'm like, why ain't no self-development material in here? Why they just telling us, hey, be confident, hoorah, here's the strategies. It's deeper than that. All right, go. Now, no credit involved at all. You're not going to the bank to go apply for a loan to buy a house as a wholesaler. We're not doing it. We're using our strength, the ability to be in America and utilize capitalism and once again, hustle to get the deal done. No credit check, okay? All right. But Oh, hold on, going back to credit. While we're wholesaling, if you can, build your credit and get someone to repair it. Because when you get 300 and 400,000 and you've also sacrificed your time to build your credit and make sure it's pure and correct, imagine the power of a 750 credit score with $250,000 in your cash reserves. You worth a couple million. You just don't know it yet. The reason why you're worth a couple million is because now you have powerful leverage. You can go have access to other outside funding other than your own personal cash. You can have somebody else put up another 400,000 to get a bigger building or whatever you want to do. 100 houses. You might want 100 houses paying you rent, all cash flow. Does that make sense? All right. Now, no license needed to do this. You're gonna hear sometimes people gonna say, "Hey, why? You should get your license." And even though I do not tell people not to, it's a good idea to get your license to become a realtor if you want to, but you're gonna have to watch some guidelines because the laws change. You're gonna have to watch how you move with wholesaling. Okay? It's two different worlds, and you can get in trouble if you have your license and you do a wholesale deal, because now you are abiding by a code of ethics and regulations from the MAR data. Okay? You're going to be working for other companies, which is okay because those companies are going to pay out commissions for you, Crylike, Hobson Realty, Remax. Why not start your own brokerage fund or your brokerage office or brokerage realty? You can do that with your license, but that takes funding. It takes a lot of money. It's like investing in the business. Not to mention the fees they charge you every year, every month too. I think right now it's like $700. Callie's studying her exam right now, but I think it's like $700 for annual fees to have your license. Man, what if you hit a stump or something and you can't pay it? You're gonna lose your license. But no license needed to do wholesaling. Go to cons. This is the cons. Not having a buyer and wholesaling. It's major. One of the first ones, as I just detailed to you guys. Okay, go. Second one is keeping up to date on potential buyers. Keeping up to date on potential buyers. That's hard. How will you know the new upcoming hedge fund that just entered the city if you're not in the loop? If you're not in no network? Or if you haven't subscribed to the Memphis Business Journal that specializes in real estate to get those active emails to your phone to know what's going on in your city. I knew Service Master was coming before everybody did because I was getting those newsletters from the Business Journal. I was staying in tune. That stuff is hard. How do I stay in tune? Where do I go? What resources can I tap into to stay in tune, Rico? And one of the most important things you can do is what Cassia has done that led her here is the MIG meetings, which is one of the main sources in Memphis that keeps you up to date on the potential buyers that gets in the city.
What is MIG?
The Memphis Investor Group. This is the central place of where I want all of you guys to go. You can go home, research the Memphis Investors Group website, and look at the active dates that they have. Now, you mean to tell me this is a large plethora of people in the real estate industry that come in one room? And I mean it's a lot of people. From appraisers, agents, bankers, insurance people, roof people, plumbing, everybody in real estate, painting, real estate investors, guys who own apartment buildings, maybe 80, 85 years old. I'm good at talking to old people. I love it. I'm just that type of person. I know how to give the gab. I know how to talk to an older person. They got long money, and they're there. And anytime you want to go visit and network with those people and keep up to date on what's going on, go. Cassie, you still go? Sometimes?
I don't go.
You here now, so it's good. I'm just
I don't go
playing.
anymore because that conflicts with my church schedule, so
Okay,
I don't go anymore.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right, Nino.
But I want to add that they do have meetings outside of MIG. They have meetings.
Oh, Mem Flips.
Mem Flips, that's every second Monday at 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And most of the time they'll have it at Fox Ridge Pizza?
Fox Ridge Pizza,
Most of the time.
Yep.
But you can find them on Meetup. The Butcher Shop, I know they do every Friday at the Butcher Shop from 12 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
They just started a Sunday group at Incredible Pizza from 11 to 2.
They did, yeah. I looked at that. They did. It was 11 to 2. Yep.
Those dates be on their site.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Y'all need to do that though. Go to that MIG site.
Yep.
Cause that's where the real people are at.
Okay.
All right. Now, the next con is when you begin out, you can't guarantee your income right here. This isn't the job world, y'all. This is entrepreneurship. You're not getting that guaranteed check that you think you're getting every 2 weeks that's hitting the account. This changes, okay? It's hard. When you invest in a direct mail campaign, you will have the possibility of not getting a deal. Let that hit your head right there. Let it sit in there. Most people think they can come in, get their money, and hit it right off the bat. It doesn't happen like that. This is a lead count business, and it takes 7 no's to get 1 yes. So it's going to be hard in the beginning. We start to guarantee our income as we consistently go on, and I'm gonna explain how that happens. I call this the 12-month marketing ratio. As I always write down. I know you guys see me write this down. I talk about it all the time. How can I be able to guarantee my income in wholesaling? This is one of the most challenging things. I'm telling you, this is frustrating. You have to be able to market in your direct mail campaign every single month to dictate your marketing ratio. For me, as an example, it took me to invest in 1,000 leads. They cost me $690. I was saving on my money, I spent some of my money on direct mail. I did this for 12 months, okay? What I did was I tracked my incoming calls. This is what we need, we're gonna have to do this. Tracked my incoming calls. I counted how many times those calls called my phone. Counted them and tracked it down for 12 months. Imagine how hard that is. Now, it's not gonna be as hard if you got an immense desire. Because if you have an immense desire, that's really the only thing you wanna do. And that's really the only thing you wanna focus on. That's really the only thing you don't wanna leave. You don't wanna go back to nothing else but that. Because you know that's gonna create your financial freedom that following year. You know the next year you finna be able to guarantee your money. For life, right? Because you finna create your marketing ratio. So from my phone calls, from me recording and tracking it down, every time I did 1,000 leads, I got 50 phone calls. Okay? From those 50 phone calls, I average and shift out and negotiated, I would get around 5 deals.
Some go through, some don't.
Some go through, some don't. I would average between $2,500 a house to $5,000 a house. Took me a whole year to do this now. So for that following year, when I went out to conventions and the MIG meetings and out of town to meet the hedge fund buyers, and they asked me what was my marketing ratio from doing my direct mail campaign, I said, well, sir, I invested in my campaign, did 1,000 leads. From 1,000 leads, I would roughly get about 50 calls. And from those 50 phone calls, I would have to negotiate and differentiate and throw away some leads and get some new leads. And I would come out with a collective group of about 5. And I would negotiate with them and I would close on them. And each deal I would net between $2,500 to $5,000 a house. That's my marketing ratio. Basically, those are my numbers. Oh, so you make about 12, 13K a month wholesaling, huh? Yeah, pretty much. How long did it take you to do that? Years. Am I making sense? That's not bullshit. Now, what if you didn't do that? And you talking about some flying out here to these top corporate people and they ask you that similar question and you at the table amongst the other associates and you say some stupid stuff. You probably say some stuff. Well, I invest in it 2 times, January, February. I hit it hard. Other month, didn't do nothing. Life caught me, man. I had to do this. Do you think they want to hear that? Okay, we need the next guy. We don't want you on the team, man. Seriously, you playing yourself. Why would you even choose to do wholesaling if you knew you couldn't commit to invest in your business for 12 months? People pay their phone bill every month. They gonna talk on their phone, they gonna get on Instagram, they gonna do everything. They gonna make sure they do everything for their phone to stay on. But they not gonna do that for their business. That's crazy, man. We gotta market every month to know our numbers for next year, to hit our quotas for next year as a company. We're not just trying to work as sole proprietors. We're trying to work as a real company and get an LLC incorporated. When y'all make over 30,000, y'all got to get incorporated, right? We got to know our numbers and quotas as a company. This is how you do it, by consistently investing in your direct mail marketing campaign, making a commitment to yourself, saying, I'm going to do this regardless of whatever go on in my life. I'm going to still market for my business and keep my phone ringing, because that's who I am as a business owner. I'm true to myself, and I stand on that. Am I making sense? I lose majority of my students here, y'all. It stops right here. I'm just keeping it real. We do the self-development. We feel good. We smile. We laugh. I get thanks, Rico. You helping me, making me do this, and I lose them right here.
You got this fine, like 25 to 5,000 per.
No. That's 2,500.
2500 to 5,000.
Yeah.
Per
house.
Yeah, per five.
Per five. Yeah. Yep. But now that number is, of course, right now these numbers that was my past. This is I do at least 3,000 to 4,000 postcards. The goal is to do 10,000. You got professionals doing 20 and 30. Some doing 100,000 postcards because they know they have to flood the market. They want to be highly competitive. And I got guys around me doing 15, 20,000 postcards calling me. They're like, man, you still doing 5,000, 4,000 postcards? In LA, Sacramento, Florida. Ultimate wholesalers doing millions of dollars a year. They're not rehabbing nothing. They're just wholesaling. They're like, man, Rico, you got to step it up, boss. This is my world. That's what's rubbing off on me. So if I'm around somebody doing that, I'm like, man, I got to get my shit together, right? That's who you got to hang around too. You got to make sure you thrive off that. They like, man, you got to up it up. So that's what I'm trying my best to do, and I am going to do that. But that's what we all have to do. I lose everybody here, man. Rico, I want to do my direct mail, but I got this job, Rico, I got to pay this. Rico, I ain't ready right now, Rico, I get this a lot. I get so many excuses. It's insane to me. So I lose a lot of my students. And it's like my average statistical rate from doing this and being in the people business and being a numbers guy and looking at numbers, if I get 5 people in one room, I'ma always get 2 runners. It always happens like that. I don't know what it is. I know life hits. I know life is hard. You know what I'm saying? I don't when they call me, I always say I understand. I never ridicule them or down them. But I'm always gonna give you that real transparent talk about this situation, about when I was talking right here. We're gonna get there. I know we are. It always happens. But we have to fight when that, whatever life emergency hits, we have to fight. Y'all, my granddaddy was 82 years old and got killed in a carjacking during the midst of me having my coaching program, doing real estate. For a 2005 Ford Taurus. He just wanted to come home and go to sleep. I didn't stop because I went back to my law of non-resistance. This is what God told him and promised me. This is my law of fulfillment. I gotta stand up as a man right now, be the matriarch, take care of my mom and my folks. Granddaddy told me that, right? I didn't stop when that happened to me. So how you gonna say you gonna stop because you somebody at your job made you mad or we gotta think about the real presence and pain of life. Am I making sense? All right, cool. I just want y'all to know that because it gets real and I lose y'all. I lose it. When it gets right here, I do. 12 months. That's gonna make or break you. Okay? All right, let's go on. Keep going. All right, so this is a basic graph that says where do you fit in? And right now, this is like real statistic. As you can see, everybody is going into the wholesaling sector in Memphis, Tennessee. You got 30% still want to be agents and 15% want to be investors because that's a real challenging thing to do. But everybody is flooding into the wholesaling realm. So as you can see, This is going to be the industry of where people are going to be proceeding to for the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, that whole circle should be almost red. Why is that? Why is that? How can wholesalers saturate the entire real estate industry? Why? As I said earlier, hedge funds are starting to buy more and more houses. As hedge funds and private equity firms are starting to buy more and more houses, it creates opportunity and leverages for a middleman to find one and send them everything and change their life in the process. Does that make sense? Does that make, I want that to kind of fly past y'all. Like, when the money flows, people follow where the money goes in real estate. The trend is hedge funds and private equity firms. Y'all need to go home and research this. Don't take my word for it. Because you're going to see it for yourself.
REIT, that same?
REIT, yeah, they're similar. REIT means real estate investment trust. It's basically similar to a mutual fund. You can actually purchase shares of a REIT, meaning that companies that has universities, warehouses, malls, shopping centers, these are investments that people own. You can purchase shares and get returns on it. Just like a mutual fund. Some of them offer you 10 and 12%. But you could look up the next day and say, oh, your profit gone. You don't.
They were telling me about, remember I text you?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I DM'd you, was telling you about the lady in Atlanta that
Yeah.
both us follow.
Right.
That's what she was telling me about.
Because you wrote it. Yeah, in that text,
Yeah,
REITs.
I researched it.
Yep, sure can. She researched it. All right, click it, Nino. I just talked about it. Doved in hedge funds. I'm going to hit you with it again. Hedge funds. How to funnel off your share of the $7 trillion Wall Street that is handing out to local real estate investors over the next 3 months. This is happening right now. And it's going to happen for the next, like I said, 5 years. $7 trillion will be spent on residential houses. I'm not even talking about commercial. This is just residential. And if Memphis is the number 2 city, where are majority of the companies are coming? They're coming in the city. So, you know, I'm trying my best to educate everybody on this big, overwhelming revolution that people are sleeping on. If you go to CSNBC, you go to YouTube and you just research this stuff, you will see all of the articles from these chief acquisition managers from these companies talking about their whole policy and structures is changing for real estate. Blackstone Capital, Berkshire Hathaway, American Homes for Rent, Progress Residential. Look up these companies that I'm naming. Main Street Renewal that I just said that I work with. You know.
They have a lot of homes in Cordova.
They have a lot of homes in Cordova because not only do they have homes, they got a property management firm too. So once they rehab them and remodel them, they got their property management team to come in and manage the tenants.
Main Street.
Main Street.
Main Street, yeah.
Stream.
Main Street. Main Street Renewal. Yep. All right, click it. Yeah, I know I'm going to New York November the 8th, so I will be in some of their offices again. Somebody, very prepared, yes. Direct mail, this is the last topic we're going to talk about today. This is where it gets tough for everybody. This is going to be challenging. Chelsea, you are locked and loaded for your first direct mail. Can't wait till you get your first phone call. We're going to do that together. So let's talk about direct mail. Today we're going to dive deep into the topic of direct mail marketing and focus specifically on how you can use direct mail to get new leads, expand your brand, and grow your business. Welcome to the MadPaper Coaching Guide to Direct Mail Marketing. All right, Nino. Direct mail, what is it and how does it work? We keep talking about this. Click on it for me. Yeah, you keep going. Yeah, here you go. Those words are very, very small. Direct mail is the practice of sending mail to a targeted list of people with the assumption that a very small percentage will respond to the campaign. Chances are you receive a lot of direct mail every single day in your mailbox at home and just consider it junk mail. How many times you got that Bed Bath & Beyond postcard? Huh? Or Cricket or something. They're utilizing direct mail, y'all. They pulled that list of homeowners from a data source. That's how you got that in your mailbox. Bed Bath & Beyond can spend thousands of dollars on TV ads if they wanted to. They can spend thousands of dollars on billboard ads if they wanted to, but they know they got to be direct to consumer. Being direct to consumer is powerful. That's what direct mail marketing does. We're gonna put that piece of postcard right in their mailbox, and they're gonna open it and see it. It's a higher chance rate of you getting that person to accept your marketing piece. All right. Have you ever wondered why they send this junk mail? Because a small percentage will end up responding to the mail, and a small percentage of those will end up buying the product, making their campaign worth the expense. At its core, direct mail marketing is about one thing: playing the odds. Now, let me give you an example of what I mean by playing the odds. All right, Nino, you go. Click it. All right, check it out, y'all. Wholesaler Rico is looking to find real estate properties he can get under contract for cheap. However, he knows that the MLS is drying up and all the good deals are being bidded up too quickly, forcing him to look elsewhere for deals. So Rico turns to direct mail marketing to find deals. Rico sends out 1,000 letters to a target audience, costing him $1,000. Out of those 1,000 letters, 5% of the people call Rico back. 1,000 times 5% equals what? 50 phone calls. Okay? Of those 50 phone calls, let's go on a very, very low end with this. Very low end. Of those 50 phone calls, Rico filters out the dust, negotiation, gets the contract on only 2%. So let's say we get one deal out this. All right, Nino. Rico then sells the contract to a local house flipper for $5,000. Go back. No, you good. Not go back and go forward. I'm sorry. As you can see in the example above, it cost Rico $1,000 up front to fund his direct mail campaign, but he was able to make $5,000 in revenue from that campaign, netting me a $4,000 profit. Am I making some sense? Okay, that's a phenomenal return.
Off of 500 letters.
Of 1,000 letters. You spent $690. I'm going back up here for the what was your marketing cost initially? And I went on the low end on one deal. That's a possibility from direct mail, y'all. That's how powerful direct mail is. You can spend $690 on one deal and make $5,000 from one house. You offset your marketing expense phenomenally. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, now what if Rico took that $4,000 profit and put it back into a direct mail campaign using the same percentage above? Rico sends out 4,000 more letters to a target audience, costing him $4,000. Right here, this is where I really lose people. Check this out. They do their direct mail, they get it, they keep doing it, and they get their deal. Remember me going back to saying money magnifies who you really are as a person? That same person that was like, man, I'm finna do this, we gonna do this together, Rico, man, I'm gonna stick with you, man, I get my first deal, you know we finna rock. They get that money, get that check, they go home, they look at that check, they know everything we talked about. Take that money, go back, reinvest in your marketing. Take two out if you have to, and save it. Take the other two, go back in. Rico takes the whole, I take my whole $4 and I go back in sometimes. Because I know the power of compound growth and the effect of what it's about to do, and I believe in it without a shadow of a doubt. It's a difference. Just like when I wake up, I know for a fact my 2 feet finna hit the ground. I know for a fact when I put my money back in, something good finna come out of it. It's just how it is. My faith is just set up that way. I get somebody who get that $4,000, they say, damn, I done made $4,000, Rico. We do something with this. It happens. It happens. Since the 3 years I've been doing the MadPaper coaching, it happens. And I laugh every time it does. You know, it's a serious thing when I get done laughing, though. It's like, man, now, you know, you worked all that hard work, coming to class, learning this, 6 weeks of learning, and then getting the money to even do your marketing and getting your first profit, and you blew it off. You blew it off. You messed it off. you know, and it's like, man, Rico, I know I had some emergencies to pop up, man. I had to do this, you know, whatever happens or whatever they say. But now we back to ground one. Now I'm afraid that you finna be in this continuous cycle that money gets people in. See, money is a powerful force. You could be saying something 1 minute, one day, feeling one way one day until you get $5,000 in your hand, all hundreds. You a totally different person. Am I right or wrong? You gotta be
Stiff.
You gotta be tough, y'all. Don't take that money and mess it off. Let's go back in, reinvest, and build your business up and make you some real money.
Because really $4,000, $5,000
Ain't no money.
No.
Tell me, no. That ain't no money. Okay, so let's go back here. All right, now we went back in the smart way. Rico sends out. Now imagine doing that too, y'all. Putting 4,000 in a campaign. Think about that. Y'all ready for that? I'm just saying. You ready to put $4,000 into it? Think about it. I want you to put yourself in this situation. Out of those 4,000 letters, 5% of the people call me back. 5%. Now that's 200 phone calls. That's a lot of phone calls. And that's how I became a master negotiator, y'all. That's how I got good. I would listen to my buyers a little bit in the office. I would ask them, look, man, let me come sit up here for free and just listen to you talk on the phone. I don't care if you're going to talk on the phone for an hour. I just want to listen. I would do that, take that, go home, put my own flavor with it, and sauce it up. And from you doing them calls so much, this little part of your ear going to start to hurt because you're going to be talking to so many people. And you start to formulate your own way of negotiating. It gets easier, it gets better, and you want it more. You just want to talk to people more. It breaks. Of those 200 phone calls, Rico filters out the duds, negotiation gets the contract on 2% of them. That's just 4 houses, man. From 200 phone calls, you got 4 houses. Rico then sells the contracts to a local house flipper for $5,000 profit on each for a revenue of $20,000. That 4 have compounded you now to $20K. So you know them folks feel like Dumbos when they blew that $4,000 off. Dumbo. Like Jay-Z said. Jay-Z said Dumbo. Big Dumbo. Come on, man. You can't mess up your re-up money. That's your re-up money. That's your money that's going to change your life. That's your shoebox money. Right? Rico now turned that 4,000 into 20,000 using direct mail marketing. So what if Rico used that 20 and put it into another direct mail campaign? How much could he make? Now I leave that for y'all to think, but that's 6 figures if you really do the numbers. That's how some of these wholesalers are making real businesses with their companies. Because at that point that it gets to there, where they put 20,000 in, now we're looking for offices. And in the offices, you have people just like this on the phone getting them calls that's coming in. You got the acquisition manager, you got the assistant, you got the other phone person, you got another phone person here, another customer service person here. Now you got a real company. Now it's MadPaper, whatever you want to call it. MadPaper, I call my company what? MadPaper Ventures, or MadPaper Elite or something like that. But now everybody is in the office, and you wake up in the morning and you go to your office, and the only thing you're hearing in your office is phone ringers and people answering these deals, and you going to your conference room and having meetings with your team and saying, all right, well, how many calls we got today? What good deals we have promised today? Now you got your team of buyers coming to your office, looking at your deals, buying deals straight from your office. That's the high level of wholesaling that it can get to, right? It's deep. This stuff deep. All right, go. We're getting close to the end. Most people say, well, Rico, you always talking about investors, and some of them come to class, some of them don't. Who are they? I'll show you. That first person that I always say right here to the far left, his name is Chris Ulander. He works with Mid-South Home Buyers. One of the first few buyers that changed my life because he took me under his wing, allowed me to come to his office, allowed me to listen to him, allowed me to follow him on his home inspections, allowed me to ride with him in his car, allowed me to eat lunch with him, allowed me to meet his family. You know, that man changed my life. The next one is many people know, to the right. You gotta know this guy. He's a major icon in Memphis, Tennessee. His name is Henry Turley. Henry Turley is a great guy, very busy guy, but he's a buyer, and he buys major projects. And as you guys know, he's about to put a movie theater downtown now. He's in charge of creating the Oak Court Mall. He is the real estate developer of Harbor Town itself. He is the reason why Harbor Town is downtown, the Greenlaw facilities. He is a major pivotal pioneer of downtown construction and the economic movement. And, you know, blessed to have that man to be able to, you know, get some advice from him. Then down here you have Alan Cogill. This is what I call a national buyer that I was talking about. Alan Cogill doesn't just buy in Memphis. He buys in Phoenix, New York, Texas, Utah, Nebraska. If it's a good deal, he'll buy it. And he's a national private lender. Say your credit is good, you want to get some funding. Alan can get that. And he teaches you how to raise money by showing you how to incorporate an SEC filing so you can raise money from different investors. Just like how I'm talking to y'all, y'all could be investors and I, you know, could pitch you something to invest in. In order to do that, you have to have your SEC filing. And he shows you how to do that. And then another investor here, this is a major investor, really the first person in command then to Mark Seller with Memphis Invest. $100 million company. This is Chris Clothier, and he's a beast. He's a major buyer.
Kent's brother.
That's Kent's brother.
Whoa.
That's him. He's the man. Sharp, master negotiator. That's a sharp dude. When I see him, I just think sharp and money. A lot of money. So yeah, you can click on it, Nino.
Wow.
Most people say, well, what about the sellers, the people you helping? It's gonna be some serious stuff that you get involved with when you start doing your real estate stuff, y'all. People are going through serious situations in life, and that's what you take pride on, and that's what you cherish, because can't nobody take that away from you. What you doing is almost like a God-given miracle to people out here. That's more important than money, right? When we value that, money comes. This first couple up here, this was an elderly couple. I helped sell their house. The lady on the left, they suffer from cancer. Okay. Not only did they both suffer from cancer, but their son died to a heroin overdose in their home. Okay. And they called me off a postcard, and their son was laying on the floor dead. Wanted to get out of that house. They just wanted to get out. Got my postcard, calling, crying hysterically. And you know, that was a very tough situation for me, because I had to like really sit down in this house and at this table and talk to them. And it was like a grandmama and granddad situation. You know what I mean? So, man, I was so happy when I helped them people sell their house and helped them relocate to go somewhere else. It was like, I got my check, but it was like that feeling, right, going back home, riding home, I cried all the way. It was so overwhelming. I did it. You know, I helped them out. But then you got two motivated sellers right here. She was taking care of her friend. It was her best friend. They lived in the house together. She was suffering from leukemia. As you can see, she was losing her hair, and they needed to relocate. She was going through a lot at that time because she was dealing with her husband, and she had a family and some kids that she was managing. It was just a lot of stuff going on. And I told them that I can help them. I can close on their house in 7 to 10 days. This is not no banking, financing situation. It doesn't take 30 days to close. Bad part about it, she had only 60 days to live, and she's dead now. So, yeah. But that's a real situation. This is what you're encountering. Remember that. This is beyond you talking about you want to come flip some houses and you want to make some. This is the real life situation. And then you have a situation down here. This was his son, Tom. They're attorneys. He had a bulk packages of properties that I helped him sell. But the major concern about this situation was he was getting old. This guy right here, his dad, and he had his son manage the properties. His son fucked up. His son messed everything up. His son basically, you know, was mismanaging the tenants, and the portfolio was looking deleveraged, and he was gonna lose everything. So the man was facing foreclosure. I came in, looked at the package. I had my buyers look at everything, look at the numbers that they can do, and we got it done. I remember after we had got it done, man, he was like, man, you saved my relationship for my dad. You know, he was like, man, my dad was finna shun me, and I didn't know what to do. So you're gonna have people come up to you and tell you how powerful and you know, how pivotal you were in their life in that situation. This is what we're doing for people in the city. This is how we're affecting the community and becoming true change, right? All right, click on it then. That's class, y'all. Today was different, right? We went in.
Yes.
It was good.
We went in.
That was good.
Yes. I'm getting y'all prepared.
That was good.
I'm getting y'all prepared. You ready, Chelsea? Was it good?
It was deep.
Was it good, boss?
Good.
You learned? All right, cool. Come on, y'all, so we can take our class picture.
We just give up Chelsea on campaigning.
I know. You make campaign.
I want my campaign to be like 2 Chainz campaign.